Arlen Lopez up against Javokhir UMMATALIEV of Uzbekistan. Lopez, the Cuban, of course, the legendary Cuban, two-time Olympic champion, three-time Pan American champion, continental champion, a world champion in 2015, just the one, which is maybe a bit surprising given how good he is. A two-time WSB winner. Him and La Cruz and others boxed so many bouts in WSB. And he got through 4-3 against Nekrusalimov in his last fight.
Corner representing Uzbekistan, Javokhir UMMATALIEV.
And his experience against youth, it's the same kind of bout actually that his teammate Julio La Cruz experienced yesterday. Javokhir UMMATALIEV of Uzbekistan, 20 years old, really emerged over the course of the last year. Asian champion in 2024, world boxing world champion from Liverpool in 2025, and he's been impressive. Wins against Fanchet of Seychelles, Dulieper of Haiti, Bekshigitulu of Kyrgyzstan, and Arjom of Serbia. Watching La Cruz, Lopez rather,
Ladies and
I do
gentlemen, your
maybe
judges for this
wonder
contest come
where
from
his fitness
Serbia,
levels are at.
Kyrgyzstan, Italy, Algeria,
and if he's pushed
Colombia.
really hard for the 3 rounds, if that could be a little bit of a problem. He's got all the residual fitness and muscle memory anybody could possibly want, but it has at times looked a little bit like he's been plotting his way through, so that could be something to have a little think about. That's UMMATALIEV in the blue on the right, Lopez in the red on the left, up at light heavy now, has been for a while, started at middleweight. So here we go. And he starts out of the southpaw stance here, Lopez. UMMATALIEV is a southpaw. He's got that big wingspan on him, the Uzbek. These two just having a little walk around at the start of this first round here. Jab to the body there from UMMATALIEV, did land. Lopez just gets on top of him, ties him up a little bit, has a word with the referee about copping one round the side of the head. He's so comfortable in the pocket, Lopez. He's never far away from you. On the borderline of range at most, and he's just looking for a way in, always looking for a way in. Jab to the body there from UMMATALIEV, jab to the head from Lopez. Hook from Lopez, maybe just about got through, clipped the top of the head. And again leads off with it. Left hand was maybe a little bit low there from UMMATALIEV, around about the hip. On the blind side of the referee, I think. Right hand to the body there from Lopez. Left to the body from UMMATALIEV, who's just a little bit busier on the inside there. Again, just looks to try and finish with a left to the body. Lopez likes it at this kind of range. He likes to lean on. He'll just try and sap you a bit. Left down the middle from UMMATALIEV. I think that was blocked, but there was a very short little uppercut on the inside, which may have landed into the final minute. Maybe a slight bit of damage to the bridge of the nose there for Lopez, I think, possibly. I don't think there's anything too dangerous about it. A kind of staccato fight this at the minute. Isn't really flowing. But you get the feeling that Lopez maybe doesn't really want it to, the style that he's going about things. And this is how he's boxed in the tournament up until this point. Left hand into the body again there from UMMATALIEV, and that's kind of what's made me wonder about where he's at with his out and out fitness. Right hand there from Lopez. It's like he wants to keep the pace slow, but UMMATALIEV has handled that quite
the end of the round, after his successes, he began to get on his toes, disengage, making Lopez pursue him to test those legs and conditioning levels
Round
further.
2.
And he's got that confidence, hasn't he? He's got that kind of confidence that saw Turbek Khabibulaev able to beat Julio La Cruz. We talked about it earlier on. When you're in with people like this, you've got to go in there expecting that you are going to win. That's the attitude you have got to have, and that's what these youngsters have got. They've come through that school, and that's the only thing that's accepted, that kind of attitude. Anything else, frankly, just will not do. You wouldn't find yourself there. You wouldn't be given these opportunities. It's really that straightforward. So into the start of the second round, Lopez in the red, UMMATALIEV in the blue. UMMATALIEV there, just happy enough to throw the combination, end up on Lopez's shoulder and grab hold of him. Whether you do it pretty, whether you do it ugly, it doesn't matter. Semi-finals are there to be won. Left hand into the body again there. Little uppercut on the inside, just about the scoring punch, I think. And Lopez hasn't really got any room to work up close. That's the problem that he's got. Although looks for a right hand to the body, but I think that was blocked by the forearm, the elbow of UMMATALIEV, who's just finding just fractions to try and get some shots away. Left hand into the body there. Left hand counter from UMMATALIEV as Lopez looks for a right hand just past the midway stage of the round. This second round absolutely crucial, and UMMATALIEV, he's just running down the clock there basically. I think he's ahead in this round at the minute because, like the first round, there's not been many scoring punches, but most of the ones that there have been have come from him. This isn't working for Arlen Lopez. This is not working, and he will know that. I wonder what he'll try and do in this final minute of the round. Right hand into the body. And there's that left hand, and then straight onto the shoulder. I think he feels confident that Lopez isn't going to take his feet out. So he can throw that single, go straight onto the shoulder, and it's a shot to nothing because it's very difficult to counter. Into the final 30 seconds. UMMATALIEV just looking for that right. Pops up a right hand there, Lopez. Referee just talking to them about heads. I think the heads are kind of okay, actually, because even though they are rubbing a little bit, no one's really bringing it in low with any kind of speed. Lopez just injects a bit of pace in now. Launched across the ring with a right-hand lead. He was a bit clumsy by his very high standards. Bell goes to the end of the second round.
Well, interestingly, for the second consecutive round, remember Lopez landed that good straight shot which snapped UMMATALIEV's head back at the end of the previous round, and when the 10-second clapper sounded, Lopez picked it up, which is a classic veteran move. Try and leave something in the mind of the judges in the closing stages. We saw it, well, really notably, Ali used to do it, Ray Leonard used to do it. Lopez looking to use that same tactic here, but prior to that, I think it's the pot shot successes of UMMATALIEV that will have seen him take that second round. The punch output from Lopez very low indeed, and when UMMATALIEV disengages, he doesn't seem to have the wherewithal or the foot speed to go with him. A clean sweep of the cards for the second consecutive round in favor of UMMATALIEV. Lopez, well, he's got to go for it here or not, because he needs a massive final round, trailing 20 points to 18 for all 5 of the judges.
He really does. He really does. And he's got to change something up in this final round, because what we've seen in the first 2 rounds, it just hasn't gone his way. It hasn't worked. And it has been a cagey fight. And I think what he's wanted, Lopez, is maybe for UMMATALIEV to get a bit frustrated, and as a young man, as a 20-year-old, want to try and engage a little bit more and leave himself slightly open, searching for more extravagant punches, but he hasn't done that. He's played him in his own game, and he's played him in his own game effectively. Lopez just stepping in a little bit more there, and the feet with slightly more urgency as he tries to walk UMMATALIEV down. They've been absolutely incredible, Lopez and La Cruz, down the years, and of that Cuban team that we saw for so many years with other fighters such as Roniel Iglesias and Nazario Alvarez and Yosbani Veitia. They're the last men standing, really. They are the last men standing, and the longevity has been absolutely extraordinary. And to get to another semi-final is no mean feat. Single left hand there from UMMATALIEV. And I don't think we've necessarily seen the best of Lopez over the course of this competition. I think about that Paris Olympics and that absolutely blistering semi-final he had with Alexander Kizhniak, and this is not that. He's a year on, obviously, a year and a half on pretty much. But let's not take anything away from UMMATALIEV, because we've talked all about composure and maturity with regard to young fighters throughout the course of the day today. And it's always really impressive when you see it, because you think about ambition and precociousness and flair and no fear and all those kinds of things when you think about young athletes across any professional sport, but it's always incredibly impressive when they do have that old head on young shoulders. And although this has not been that thrilling a fight to watch, he won't care about that, UMMATALIEV, because he's going to get the win here.
Well, the bell sounds with UMMATALIEV literally legging it away from trouble, because he knew that he had built up the necessary endurance over the course of the 3 3-minute rounds, and that is why it's all smiles in that blue corner.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. He has 2-point leads with all 5 judges going into that final round, and it's possible that Lopez, who got on the front foot a little bit more, might have won that one, but there's no way he's won them 10-8, so really it's going to be a win for UMMATALIEV, and he's going to go through to the final, a second World Championship final in a matter of months, having won in Liverpool. Good to see so many fighters here who were also in that competition.
And again, by having been crowned a world champion already, it's a really significant moment in the career of an athlete in general, and a boxer in particular.
Ladies and
pick up that point
the
in a
winner
moment
of this contest via unanimous decision and going into the finals, in the blue corner, representing Uzbekistan, Javokhir UMMATALIEV.
UMMATALIEV new, and wonderful to see that respect. Are we witnessing a passing of the torch here? Arlen Lopez was being such a figurehead at middleweight and light heavyweight for so long. Magnificent servant of the sport, always a joy to behold. The Cuban maestro bowing to all sides of the Dubai duty-free tennis center here, receiving another global medal, a bronze to add to the one that he won in Paris last year at the Olympic Games. But the 2-time Olympic champion and 2015 world champion, respectfully embracing the man who just got the better of him. But to your point about UMMATALIEV winning that boxing world championship gold in Liverpool, that's a really significant moment, because when you're a boxer as talented as all these guys are, you walk in the gym, you start doing your thing, you're going to be a champion, you're going to be a champion, you're going to be a champion. When you actually do it, what it must do for one's confidence and depth of belief, well, it's probably immeasurable.
I completely agree with that, and they talk about that, don't
left in his leg.